Good morning. I just got up and this is going to be my day in the life of bio video. So now I'm brushing my teeth and my hair. And my hair and teeth and all the other parts of my body have different functions that they have to perform. So they need to make different proteins, like my hair needs to make keratin and skin cells make melanin and stuff. So to do that, they have to express a different set of the genome, because all my cells have the same genome, but they have to repress certain operons and only express certain parts so that they can make the proteins that they need. So that is an example of gene expression and regulation. Now making my morning coffee for the day. I'm going to put some milk in my coffee, and I'm just using normal milk because I'm not lactose intolerant, and we talked about how people are supposed to become lactose intolerant after they're babies, but we've just evolved to be able to tolerate lactose, which is an example of natural selection. And even though you wouldn't die or anything now, since there's other substitutes for lactose milk, it's an example of how we've evolved over time. And now I'm gonna add some sugar into my coffee, which is an example of a carbohydrate, which is one of the 4 macromolecule groups. And this is table sugar, just normal, so it's sucrose, which I believe is the monosaccharides fructose and glucose, and that's an example of chemistry of life since it's the monomers that are making up the sucrose, and I'm putting it in my coffee. Here is my sweet Rosie. Hi, Rosie. A few weeks ago she got a little bite on her leg, and she kept biting at it and it made it worse, so she had to be in a cone, which she didn't like, right, Rosie? But then now it's all healed up pretty much. She just has to grow some fur back. But that is a good example of the cell communication and the cell cycle, because her cells had to reproduce faster and divide, and she had to regrow all the skin that was over that cut. So she was using increased cell cycle to help heal her little wound. So now I had my coffee and got ready, and I am on my way. Me and Elena are going hiking at Fall Run, which is super fun. Me and my family went hiking yesterday at Ohiopyle. We hiked 10 miles, so my legs are already pretty tired, but that's okay because we are gonna see some good bio on our hike, and I will film it for you, and hopefully it's super fun, and I would recommend going to Ohiopyle and hiking if you can. It was super crowded, but yeah, we're gonna do some more hiking today, and I will show you. Starting our hike. Woo!
At its finest.
Eating some water, or I guess not just the water, but oh, how cool. There's some people sliding on it. We didn't bring our bathing suits, unfortunately, but that's okay. Here we are walking up a lot of steps. I can feel the burn in my legs, which is an example of lactic acid fermentation, because there isn't a lot of oxygen in my legs right now, but I still need to make ATP, so I make lactic acid, and to go back to glycolysis to still make 2 ATP, so that is an example of the cellular energetics. Now we are taking a little break sitting on this log, and it has bark on it, which is all dead tree cells, which function so they don't have any working organelles or anything, because they need to function to protect the tree. But these leaves, they're all green because they have chloroplasts, which is helping them do photosynthesis. So that's an example of cell structure and function, because different organelles that they have working in them correlate to how they're functioning on the tree. Top of the waterfall. I don't want to fall, but here it is, if you can see it. Very cool, very pretty park here. I don't know if you've ever been, but you should come. Right now I am looking around for a worm to complete my little thing, but I can't seem to find one. But if I do, I will make sure I show you. But you can see the sun. I don't know if you can see it right there. The sun is providing energy to plants to do photosynthesis to turn it into chemical energy, which a consumer like that duck we saw earlier could eat the plant and then get the energy, and then when that dies, a worm, a decomposer, will come and eat it. So that's like the sun, and then producer, consumer, decomposer. So that's an example of energy flow and the 10% rule, which is a good example of ecology. There's also some good biodiversity. You can see there's trees and there's grass, and we saw some flowers earlier. I think Elena put them in her video. So there's just a lot of different things here that are making up the whole ecosystem and the biome, and are making it suitable for lots of different life to live here, like the ducks and birds and insects. So that is biodiversity, so another example of ecology. Here's a cute little mini waterfall happening. Nothing too special about it to tie in, but just thought it was cute. Here's an example of a little, I don't know, love will shine through the cracks. Aw, here's just a little, I don't know, community maybe. A little community with a bunch of different organisms you can see.
Jesus,
Jesus,
a ring,
yeah.
some money.
How
Probably we don't
cute.
have
I think it might be
anything.
a little geocache. I don't think we have anything to add to it, but
Me.
something cute to look at. And this isn't a worm, but it's a little centipede.
yes.
I'm not totally sure if they are decomposers. I don't know if they are, but it's similar to a worm, and it's the best I've found so far, so that can show you the decomposer if I don't see a worm anywhere else. We've decided that we don't think the centipede is a decomposer, but it's still there, and it gives you the idea of the worm being a decomposer, and we will still keep an eye out for a worm. Here's another little fairy community.
Alright,
so
here's a
cute.
community. Toot a dollop of Daisy.
There's a consumer eating the grass for my energy flow chain. Aw. Taking a selfie. Now we are done with our hike and fall run, and we are in North Park in a little pavilion having some lunch, some Chipotle, get some fuel in our bodies, and eat up all those calories that we burned. So now I am home, and I got back, and me and my sister went to the store to look for new sneakers. And I was gonna put her in the video, but she was being mean and said that the ones I wanted to get were ugly, so she doesn't get to be in the video anymore. But I'm still gonna use her as an example of heredity. So we obviously both have the same parents, and so whenever they have like their gametes made and stuff, they're gonna contribute the same chromosomes because all their cells have the same DNA. But then like independent assortment and crossing over happens, so then that makes there a lot of like genetic variation, which is why me and her aren't identical, because obviously we don't look the same. Like she has hazel eyes and I have lighter hair, so we don't look the same because of all the different steps of meiosis and how it makes a different person, I guess. But yeah, so that is a good example of heredity. It is now like almost midnight. It's pretty late. We had dinner and played with our dog, and we had my like cousins and aunt and uncle. We all brought like camp chairs and sat around a fire and made some s'mores. So it was super nice getting to see some people. But yeah, I'm gonna shower and go to bed. So this basically wraps up my fun-filled day in the life of bio. But I hope you enjoyed, and I got to see some pretty cool bio today. So yeah.